In this video, we will look at the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands and the Ramsar Wetland Sites of India. So, first, we should look at the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands. So, the Convention on Wetlands, that is the Waterfowl Convention, it is also known as Waterfowl Convention. It is an intergovernmental treaty. That means that it has been signed by the governments of many countries. It is an intergovernmental treaty that provides the framework for national action and international cooperation for the conservation and wise use of wetlands and their resources. So it provides the framework for national actions, that what countries should do to protect these wetlands at a national level, and then international cooperation, that is if some wetlands lie in areas which is in the territories of two countries, it extends in territories of two countries, then they should cooperate with each other and help in protecting these wetlands, so for the conservation and wise use of wetlands and their resources. So the this Ramsar Convention on Wetlands was adopted in the Iranian city of Ramsar in 1971 and came into force in 1975. So this Ramsar city is located near the Caspian Sea, and uh, this city is the Ramsar city, and in 1971 it was adopted and it came into force in 1975. So it is the only global environmental treaty that deals with a particular ecosystem. So this treaty deals with a particular ecosystem, that is the wetland ecosystem, and it has to aims to conserve and to use wisely the wetlands and their resources. So Ramsar is not affiliated with the United Nations system. So you have to remember this, guys. This point is very important, that it is not affiliated with the United Nations system of multilateral environmental agreements. It is independent of United Nations system of multilateral environmental agreements. But it works very closely with other Ministry of External Affairs, is a full partner among the biodiversity related cluster of treaties and agreements. So it works with Ministry of External Affairs, but it is not affiliated with the United Nations system of multilateral environmental agreements. So now we'll look at the World Wetlands Day, which is celebrated on 2nd February every year. So number of contracting parties, that is the number of parties which have signed this Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, is 163. So that is a big number. 163 parties have signed the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, and the World Wetlands Day is always celebrated on 2nd February every year. So the mission of this Ramsar Convention on Wetlands is the conservation and wise use of all wetlands through local, regional and national actions. So they aim to conserve these wetlands through national action is the main aim, but local and regional action should also be taken. That is when national action will be fruitful. And international cooperation as a contribution towards achieving sustainable development throughout the world. So sustainable development is also a keyword which comes here. That is, we have to take national action, local and regional actions for the national actions to be fruitful, and the international cooperation should always be there, as there are 163 contracting parties. So for achieving sustainable development throughout the world. So this is all about Ramsar Convention on Wetlands. So the Ramsar list. We will now look at the Ramsar list. That what is the Ramsar list? So Ramsar list. So at the time of joining the convention, each contracting party has to designate at least one site for inclusion in the list of wetlands of international importance. That is, if any party or any country joins the Ramsar convention, they have to include at least one wetland which is of significance to international importance. That is when they can join the Ramsar Convention of Wetlands. At the time of joining, each contracting party designates at least one site for inclusion in the list of wetlands of international importance. That is, they will include at least one site for inclusion in the list of wetlands of international importance, that is the Ramsar list. The addition of site to Ramsar list confers upon is the prestige of international recognition and expresses the government's commitment to take all steps necessary to ensure the maintenance of the ecological character of the site. That is, the addition of any site to Ramsar list confers upon it the prestige of international recognition. That after it is added to the Ramsar list, it is an internationally important site for it is an internationally recognized site and expresses the government's commitment to take all steps necessary to ensure the maintenance of the ecological character of the site. So, for transboundary Ramsar sites, Ramsar sites, there is a cooperative management arrangement and not a distinct legal status for Ramsar sites involved for transboundary Ramsar sites. So, an ecologically coherent wetland extends across national borders. If an ecologically coherent wetland extends across national borders of two countries or three countries or four countries, then the Ramsar site authorities on both or all sides of the border have formally agreed to collaborate in its management. So the Ramsar site authorities of both the countries or of any number of countries through which the Ramsar wetland site passes or is located should have a formal agreement to collaborate in its management and have notified the secretariat of this intent. So they should have they have to collaborate and manage this Ramsar site. So what is the mission? The mission I have told you, to conserve and wise use to conserve the wetlands, wise use of wetlands on local, regional and national levels, as well as international cooperation for attaining sustainable development throughout the world. And the parties have committed, the 163 parties which are the contracting parties, have committed themselves to work towards the wise use of all these wetlands through national land use planning, appropriate policies. That is, they have to use land use planning, otherwise how will they conserve wetlands? So planning should be there, policies should be there, and legislation. If there are policies, then without legislation the policies will not work. So legislation should be there, then the actions should be there, management actions, and the public awareness should be created. So all the parties have to work towards these goals, that is planning, land use planning, then appropriate policies, then legislations and management actions, and public awareness. So all these parties will work on these agendas. So design suitable wetlands for the list of wetlands of international importance and ensure their effective management. So again, this is also one of the aims, that is to designate suitable wetlands, that is the to add wetlands in the Ramsar site, Ramsar list, and conserve these wetlands and have their and to effectively manage these wetlands. If they effectively manage these wetlands, then only it will be conserved, the biodiversity will be conserved, the wetlands will be of very much importance, the wetlands will not lose their importance, they will be of significance to the people around them, as well as the um biodiversity conservation will also take place, and the many uh, important functions of the wetlands will also be there, like water storage and water seepage, water penetration through the ground, water seepage, water storage. They act as sponges for conserving the water during rainy season, and they act as buffer zones for floods. They help in the sedimentation of dirty or turbid waters. So these are the functions, they help in conserving the biodiversity of a place. A large they are a they help to sustain many different ecosystems, and they also help people in fulfilling their water needs during the time of summer season, or any other season. So all these are functions of wetlands which are very important. That is why the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands was formed in 1971 and it came into force in 1975. So the parties have to cooperate internationally concerning transboundary wetlands, shared wetland system, shared species. The species which are available in these which habitat these wetlands have to be protected, and development projects have to be stopped that may affect these wetlands. So it can only be done with national and international cooperation in case of transboundary wetlands or shared wetland systems. Now we look at the wetlands in India, and as you can see here, there is a map which lists all the wetlands and lists the location of all the wetlands. It gives the location of all the wetlands in our country. This is the map of India. So all these are of international significance, and all these wetlands are listed here. As you can see, the blue dots represents the Ramsar wetland sites of India. So now we'll see all these wetland sites one by one. So now let's see. So first we look at now we look at when India joined this Ramsar Convention. So India joined this Ramsar Convention in 1981, and presently there are 49 wetland sites in India. So India joined this convention in 1981 and has been implementing conservation programs for wetlands, mangroves and coral reefs. India now has presently has 49 sites designated as wetlands of national importance, international importance. So this is what India has done in the form of Ramsar Convention of Wetlands. That is, it has joined convention. It has become a contracting party in 1981, and since then, it has been implementing conservation programs for wetlands, mangroves, and coral reefs. It now presently India has 49 sites designated as wetlands of international importance. So all these are the 49 sites designated as Ramsar wetland sites of international importance and Ramsar wetland sites of India. So we will look at them one by one. So let's look at them. The first one, as you can see here, this is the list of all the wetland sites. So the first one is Koleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh, and we will look at it. So the Koleru Lake, you have to find the number one. So it has not been marked here, but we know that it is located in Andhra Pradesh, the Koleru Lake. And then we will see the second one, that is Deepor Beel in Assam. Here the date of declaration is given, and the area in square kilometer is given, but the list is given according to which the Ramsar wetland sites have been declared. So first we will have to find the list, and we will have to look at the list and then look at the wetland sites. So the first one, I think, here in the list is the first wetland site to be designated as in Ramsar list is, I think, Chilika Lake in 1981. So as we look at the Chilika Lake, so we can find it here. No, it is the second one. So we have to find the first one. So the first one is near Delhi or UP. So the first one you can see here is, it must be, I think, Keoladev Ghana National Park in Rajasthan. So the first one is Keoladev Ghana National Park in Rajasthan. That is, it is numbered one. So as you can see here, it is located here at number one. This is the Keoladev National Park in Rajasthan. Keoladev Ghana National Park in Rajasthan. This is the first wetland site of India. Not many people know about it, but this is the first designated wetland Convention wetland site in India, and this is the first wetland site of India to be recognized as wetland site of international importance by Ramsar. So you can see its location. This is the location number one, and then we will move on to the next locations. So second one is the Chilika Lake. As you can see here, it is in Odisha, located in Odisha. You can see the second one. This is the Chilika Lake, which is the second wetland site of India. Then we will move on to the third one. So the third one is located in Rajasthan again, the Ramsar wetland site. So we will look at what is the third Ramsar wetland site of India. So it is the Sambar Lake, which was identified, that is date of declaration is 1990. So third is Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. So we will see it here. This is the location of Sambar Lake in Rajasthan, third number, and this is the third wetland site of India. Then we'll look at the further wetland sites. So in at fourth place, it is the at fourth place we will have to see that the fourth wetland site of India is located uh, here in the here in Mizoram. Fourth wetland site is located uh, in Manipur. So you can see the location Manipur, that is 19, that is the Loktak Lake in Manipur. So you can see here it is the Loktak Lake in Manipur. Here it is located, the Loktak Lake in Manipur. It is the fourth wetland site of India. Then we look at the fifth wetland site. It is located in the Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory. Now it is a union territory. Earlier it was a state, but now it has been designated as union territory, and the other union territory is Ladakh. So national wetland site is fifth Ramsar wetland site is in Jammu and Kashmir. So we can see it is the Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. So it is the fifth wetland site, as you can see here, Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. You can see here this is the fifth one, above in Jammu and Kashmir. Then we will look at the sixth one. It is located in Punjab. It is located in Punjab. So we will see the name of that wetland site. So we will find it. The fifth wetland site in Punjab. It is the Harika Lake in Punjab. So the fifth wetland site is Harika Lake in Punjab, as you can see here. Where is fifth wetland site is again in sixth wetland site is Harike Lake in Punjab, as you can see here. Seventh one is also in Punjab. So we will have to find it which one is there. So the seventh one in Punjab is the Kanji Lake. So Kanji Lake in Punjab is the seventh wetland site of India. So it is located here. You can see here the location. So as we can see here, all the wetland sites. First we will look at Bihar. So in Bihar there is only one wetland site, that is Kabarthal wetland. So you can see the location of Kabarthal wetland. So this is the Kabarthal wetland in Bihar. In Jharkhand there are no wetland sites, and then in West Bengal we'll look at the two wetland. You can see the position of the wetlands, and then then the date of declaration of these wetlands. According to the date of declaration in this list, these wetlands have been marked. So you can take the information from here and match it from here. Okay, so I will keep the screen on so that you can take the screenshot, or whatever you can list the screen on, make notes. So you can see it here, and then you can match it with the wetland sites here, the number. But first, now we will look at the Kabartal wetland in Bihar. Or let's start from Andhra Pradesh, the first state, that is the Koleru Lake. So you can see the location of the Koleru Lake. The date of declaration, maybe it is ninth in the list. So it was declared in, I think it was declared in 2002. So it is ninth in Koleru. So it is ninth in the list. And the largest wetland site of India, that is largest wetland site of India, is the we will look at the area and find the largest wetland site in India. It is the Chilika Lake, that is 1165 square kilometers. It is located in Odisha. Now let's look at the state locations and look at the wetland sites. So the first one is Koleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh. So you can see here the location. It is number 9. This is the Koleru Lake in Andhra Pradesh. Then we will move further. So Deepor Bill in Assam. It is the only wetland site in Assam, Deepor Bill. So we will look at the Deepor Bill in Assam. This number 14 is the Deepor Bill in Assam. So this is the Assam wetland site, Deepor Bill. And before this, we looked at Andhra Pradesh, that is the Koleru Lake. So the third is in Bihar, that is Bihar also has only one wetland site, that is Kabarthal wetland. So let's look at the Kabarthal wetland. Here it is number 38. This is the Kabarthal wetland, the location of Kabarthal wetland in Bihar. This is it. Then we look at the other states where only one wetland site is present, that is in Haryana, that is in Himachal Pradesh. Three wetland sites are present: Chandratal wetland, Pong Dam Lake, and Renuka wetland. So first one to be designated as wetland is Pong Dam Lake. Then the second one is, then the Renuka wetland and Chandratal wetland have been designated. So as you can see here, in Himachal Pradesh, the number 22 is the Pong Dam Lake, and the 33 and 34 are the Renuka wetland and the uh, Chandratal wetland. So you can see here Renuka wetland in Himachal Pradesh, Chandratal wetland in Himachal Pradesh, and at 22 there is the uh, Pong Dam Lake. Then Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir, Hokera Wetland in Jammu and Kashmir, Surinsar, Mansar Lakes in Jammu Kashmir, Somori Lake in Jammu Kashmir, then Ashtamudi Wetland, Sastamkota Lake, and Vembanad Coal Wetland in Kerala. So we'll look at these. These all have been designated in 2002. That is, the date of declaration is 2002, and we will look at them. So let's look at them. So the location of these lakes. So in Kerala, we will move on to Kerala. That is the 10, 17, and 16. So you can see the Vembanad Lake, Shastamkota Lake, as well as Vembanad Lake, Shastamkota Lake, and Ashtamudi Wetland. So all of them have been designated in 2002. So then we will move on to Ladakh. So there is only one Sokar wetland complex in Ladakh. So we will see the Ladakh has only one wetland complex, that is the Sokar wetland complex. And then Bhoj wetlands in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh has only one wetlands, that is the Bhoj wetlands. It is number 12 here. These have been numbered according to the date of declaration. Then we will move on to the Lonar Lake and Nandur Madhameshwar in Maharashtra. So Maharashtra has two wetlands, that is the Lonar Lake. The first one is Nandur Madhameshwar, that is, this is the 28 number is the Nandur Madhameshwar, and 40 is the Lonar Lake in Maharashtra. So all these are wetland sites of Maharashtra, that is the Nandur Madhameshwar, Maharashtra, and Lonar Lake in Maharashtra. So Nandur Madhameshwar is 28 number and Lonar Lake is 40 number. Now we look at Tamil Nadu. Karnataka has no wetland sites, Telangana has no wetland sites, and Goa also has no wetland sites. Then we will look at Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu, we will find it here. Tamil Nadu has only one wetland site, that is Point Calimere Wildlife and Bird Sanctuary. It was designated in 2002. So you can see here the location number 19 is the Point Calimere Wetland and Bird Sanctuary. So Calimere Wildlife and Bird Sanctuary. This is the wetland site of Tamil Nadu. Then in Tripura there is only one wetland site, that is Rudrasagar Lake. So we can see this is number 24 in Tripura. It is the Rudrasagar Lake in Tripura. That is the wetland site. Then we will look at West Bengal. West Bengal has two wetland sites. That is we look at West Bengal. West Bengal has two wetland sites, that is East Kolkata wetlands and Sundarban wetlands. So the Sundarban wetlands have been recognized in 2019 and East Kolkata wetlands in 2002. So that is the number 11 is the East Kolkata wetlands and number 27 are the Sundarban wetlands. So all these, now we look at the wetland sites in Haryana. So Haryana has two wetland sites. Look at the wetland sites in Haryana. Two wetland sites: Bhindawas Wildlife Sanctuary and Sultanpur National Park. So now we look at 45 and 46 number. They are the Bhindawas Wildlife Sanctuary and Sultanpur National Parks. They are in close proximity to Delhi. Bhindawas Wildlife Sanctuary and Sultanpur National Park. Now we will look at UP. UP has many wetland sites. Uttar Pradesh, I think, is the state with the highest number of wetland sites. That is Bhakira Wildlife Sanctuary, Haidarpur Wetland, Nawabganj Bird Sanctuary, Parvati Agra Bird Sanctuary, Saman Bird Sanctuary, Samaspur Bird Sanctuary, Sandi Bird Sanctuary, Sarsai Nawar Jheel, Sur Sarovar, and Upper Ganga River. So the first one to be identified is Upper Ganga River, Bridge Ghat to Narora stretch. So all other than that, all other have been identified after that. So the Upper Ganga River, Narora stretch, Bridge Ghat to Narora stretch, as we can see here. Number 21, it is the Upper Ganga wetland. This number 21 is the Upper Ganga wetland. Okay, you can see here, this is the location, and all of the other wetlands have been identified after that. Now we look at Gujarat. So Gujarat also has many wetlands, four wetlands, that is Khijadia Wildlife Sanctuary, Nal Sarovar Bird Sanctuary, Thol Lake Wildlife Sanctuary, and Vadhwana Wetland. So the first one is Nal Sarovar, Nal Sarovar Bird Sanctuary. So we look at Gujarat. So as you can see, the 26th number is Nal Sarovar Bird Sanctuary. You can see it here. Sarovar Bird Sanctuary is number 26. Then we'll move on to the further wetlands in Gujarat. That is, all others have been the second one is all others have been designated in 2021. So Nalsalovar Bird Sanctuary is number 26. So we have looked at the wetland sites of almost all the states: Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. The second one has in the we can look at the Somori Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. So you can see it here. Number 20 is the Somori Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the Somori Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. It has been declared in 2002. Then Surinsar, Mansar Lakes, Hokera Wetland in Jammu and Kashmir, Ular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir was the first one, and these are the four wetland sites of Jammu and Kashmir. Then Kerala has three wetland sites. Ladakh has only one. Madhya Pradesh has only one. We have looked at the wetland sites of Maharashtra. There are two wetland sites. Manipur has only one wetland site, Loktak Lake. Then Odisha has two Bhitarkanika mangroves as well as Chilika Lake. You can look at here. Bhitarkanika mangroves is numbered 18 according to date of declaration. Then Punjab has four Ramsar wetland sites, that is Bias Conservation Reserve, Harika Lake, Kanji Lake, and Kishopu Miami Community Reserve, as well as Nagal Wildlife Sanctuary and Roper Lake. So Punjab has almost six wetlands of international importance. The first was the Harike Lake, that is in Punjab. So that was the first one to be identified in Punjab. So we can look at the location of the Harike Lake, that is number 6. This is the first one to be identified. And then the second one to be identified was Kanji Lake. And Roper Lake. So Kanji Lake and Roper Lake were the second one to be identified. So Kanji Lake is numbered 7 and Roper Lake is numbered 8. Then we'll move on to Rajasthan, only two: Sambar Lake and Point Kalimir Wildlife and Bird Sanctuary. These are the wetlands. Then Tripura has only one, Rudra Sagar Lake. Then Uttar Pradesh has almost the largest number of wetlands. Uttar Pradesh has almost 10 wetland sites. Uttarakhand has only one, Asan Conservation Reserve. We will look at it. Uttarakhand, only one Asan Conservation Reserve. It has been numbered 23. You can see it here. Then we will move further, and West Bengal, we have looked at the wetlands of West Bengal. So I will tell you guys that please look at the date of declaration here, and then look at the wetland sites of India. I'll just minimize it so that you can see the full map. So you just look at the date of declaration here, and according to the wetland sites have been numbered, or you can look at these wetland sites according to state wise also. You can identify the states where no wetland sites are present. That is states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Karnataka, Goa. These all have no wetland sites. So you can Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram. These states don't have any wetland site, as well as Meghalaya and Sikkim. So you can identify these states. The concepts will be clear, and you can look at the states with the highest number of wetlands. That is Uttar Pradesh, and after that comes Punjab. And you can also identify the states where only one wetland site is present. That is in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh, and in Bihar. Only one wetland sites are present. In case of Rajasthan, two wetland sites are present. West Bengal, two wetland sites are present. Maharashtra, two wetland sites are present. And in Odisha also, two wetland sites are present. Then in um, Kerala, three wetland sites are present. So you have to identify these wetlands state wise, and you have to remember these wetlands because they are very important from prelims point of perspective from UPSC. And just look at the date of declaration of this and identify the wetland sites here. Okay guys, then see you in the next video. Hope you find this video very informative.